Put on the good act.
So I'm gonna take a picture with me with Kodak, and then I'm gonna rhyme that
Oh, by
lyric
the
with the
way,
word Kodak.
Zach.
So I'm gonna rhyme Kodak with Kodak. Oh, that's nice. Sorry, that means they can hear everything that I'm saying right now, but they just can't hear what you're saying.
No, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So we have killed Zach. He is deceased. We have decided to do a permanent takeover of the business. So welcome to IFAR at Homestead, Miami for round number 7 of the championship. Last week we saw Gino Bononi take away a very close finish at Auto Club Speedway, and now as we reach the halfway point in the season, we take us down to South Florida for tonight. It is a very close championship battle currently. Only 2 points separate the top 3. Joshua Clements, your points leader, 18 with a right now. Joshua Clements right now, your points leader, 1 point ahead of Dunlap Prod in second, who is 1 point ahead of Gino Bononi in third. 7 points back is Kyle Watts from them. So overall, a still very close championship battle. When you throw in the top 5 car of Garcia Nguyen, 3 points behind Watts. So the championship right now could go anyone's way, but there's still a lot of racing still left to do. For most leagues, and I'm pretty sure IFAR the last couple seasons, this track would normally be the championship decider. Homestead, that's the spot usually, but we are only halfway there. The championship finale for IFAR this season is Chicagoland. So Homestead now, with it being right here, smack dab in the middle, kind of throws a little bit more of an interesting curve into things. Instead of you having to make every move that they can do to win the championship, well, there's still quite a lot of racing left, so you can probably play this track a little bit differently. Much like Auto Club last week, you're going to have multiple lanes to work with here. That top line is definitely going to see a lot of people rubbing that wall, but that inside's going to be a lot more of a threat, unlike 1 week ago at Auto Club. So we might see a few new contenders try and work their way up. Not as much pressure with it being a championship race that Homestead normally tends to be, but that might make people a little bit more aggressive at the same time.
All right, I'm gonna test my mic a little bit here. Testing. I think it's a little quiet.
Also, I'm the guest here in the broadcast.
Nice.
Yippee.
I'm the guest, slash coder. So yeah.
Yep. Alright, I think my audio should be good. It's actually a little loud. I'm gonna turn it down.
So, who should we be following during practice? Who's the main guy?
For this race specifically, too close to call currently. For the championship-wise, the 92 and 24 are going to be your 2 guys to look at. Clements does usually pull up pretty quick numbers. He's actually 3rd right now on the practice laps currently. Bononi down in 7th. So that 92, much like last week, if it didn't end up getting wrecked, if he ended up getting wrecked out early on, yet again another week to have a chance to extend that points gap. But unlike a week ago, that cushion that he had is no longer there. So right now, that Diesel Motorsports 92 holding themselves up in 3rd. That is a good sign for tonight, potentially. As long as they keep that car clean, unlike 1 week ago, they might be able to make it work. His teammate, however, Kyle Watts, leads the timing sheets here through practice. That number 21 Toyota. Watts is always a quick driver. You have to look out for him. Anyone that's watching the Zak DSRA broadcasts, you would know how much of a threat this guy tends to be. But IFAR, while he does still have that same level of pace, his luck has not really been there in comparison. He currently sits 4th in the championship right now, 9 points behind his teammate of Clemens, who leads us right now in the standings. But yet again, showing his speed here at Homestead, Miami, top of the board with a 31.685, 2 tenths ahead of the 2nd place car of Daniel Rodriguez.
So if he wins tonight, he's most likely going to be in the lead?
It's it's a potential. It still really rounds up where those 3 cars ahead of him do finish right now. Because yeah, he could take the lead after tonight, unless Clements, Laprade, or Bononi finish second, third, fourth. That might not be enough points for him to catapult himself to the top of those standings. So IFAR races tend to be a little bit long. You can't quite say who's going to end up where until that checkered flag drops.
Yeah, Kyle Watts has been on some heaters lately. I'm talking about all the other leagues, but I feel like he's gonna be something tonight.
His luck with IFAR has really been the same as other places, but that speed's definitely there. It's just a matter of time before he's able to break through to get that first win of this season 14 schedule. But could
Gotta
be
remember.
tonight, but knowing how IFAR works out,
Joven
I wouldn't exactly put that as
is
an exact.
in second right now and has a 31.782, while Kyle Watts has a 31.685.
And 1-10 gap there. Joven's been always up there towards the front of the season. Hasn't quite been able to break through. Came close 1 week ago before those late race shenanigans unfolded. Much to the benefits of the car that won 1 week ago and currently sits 7th on the standings, Gino Bononi. That win last week at Auto Club has bumped him up to 3rd in
And
the championship points, only 2 points behind
Kyle is
of the
flipping.
points lead. That is practice. That's pretty much normal.
Kyle Watts has died. Unfortunate.
Kyle
You're worried
has-
about him, and did you see where Jelani ended up?
Yes, I
Fair
see
enough.
where he ended. Ended in the fence.
Yeah, that tends to happen sometimes in practice. Happy hour is even worse if you think about it.
Yeah, but
Oh,
Kyle
yeah, I
Watts, yeah, he almost won at Nashville. Had that little late run by the 18 that race. Not happened. He would have had Nashville in the bag, but sometimes stuff like that happens, and he still got the pace, like you said. I think that win's coming sooner rather than later.
One car to look out for, and I'm only mentioning this because of where they ended up on, or they currently are in practice, although we still have quite a little bit to go before we get to qualifying, is the number 12 of Victor Delgado the third. I call him one of the journeyman drivers because since for the longest time in RFR, he's been running his own team. This year, it's down to just a single car operation. But he's currently sitting 4th in practice. I don't think he's managed to pull through to an IFAR win, usually just being able to scrape by. But right now, where he's sitting on the practice charts, that could potentially just be a draft lap. But it's probably still definitely a good motivator for a team of that size against some of the larger teams on the grid, like Diesel Motorsports, your Scuderia Caramonas, your No Skill Racings. For that single car operation, currently sitting 4th on the timing sheet, so they could have a potentially really good day here at Homestead.
Yep.
And I know that's going to be much the annoyance of you, Zach, because you said as long as Victor doesn't lead a lap, the picker's going to be fine.
Yeah, because the thing is, the way I have it right now with the leader specifically is it just shows her last name, and Victor only puts his last name as the three I's, I guess. And that's just 3. So if he leads, it's gonna be 3 little lines in his number up there.
Where are you getting? I thought I remade that.
I'm getting it from the pylon you made. I got the leader from that, but
the leader should automatically display. No, right?
I think it's talking about the leader, like on the top of the thing, not
Yeah.
the scrolling ticker itself.
yeah, no, it automatically shows, but it only shows the last name, and Victor, his last name is listed as 3.
Yeah.
I could fix that by putting we could fix that by putting the full name in for like specifically the leader though, maybe. But
maybe, but
I don't know, we'll see how it goes.
That 12 car usually doesn't lead laps, but I don't know, today it might be a really good day for them. It's currently showing 15 minutes until qualifying. I don't know if that's true because of how long the server has or has not been up.
I'm gonna assume probably around like 9:30. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking. So the qualifying is just around the corner here, as there is another wreck on the back straightaway.
Big one.
The IFR special, if you will.
Channel group changed.
Oh, something happened in the team
I
speak.
don't think one thing we haven't done since Daytona, I could be wrong on this, is way too early race win predictions. So, either of you want to go first on that?
I got.
User disconnected from your channel.
Oh.
That was just the testing. You're good.
Yeah, I think Cam was doing
okay.
some stuff.
I think my prediction is. Kyle Watts is fast, but you also think who will. What's his tires in the future? I think I'm going for Joven.
Good pick.
They Homestead Miami as we switch over to I think we're about to go to qualifying. Nope,
We got 14 minutes.
I think when it comes to the big tracks this season, although Homestead isn't as big as places like Pocono or Auto Club, it's still a very fast racetrack. You're gonna have a lot of on-throttle time here. And one driver this season who's been able to excel at those bigger racetracks is the driver who won just 1 week ago, Gino Bononi. Fell just short of Pocono, took the win home at Auto Club. I think that number 24 car is right now. He's only 8th in practice right now, but I'd say keep an eye out. He might try to go back to back and take that championship lead tonight. Zach, your turn.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go. I know this sounds kind of crazy. I'm gonna say Landon Lyle. He's pretty good at this track, and he's really good at putting himself at the end position of races at this track. And I know it's IFAR and all, but I'm gonna go with a little bit of a sleeper pick here and say Landon Lyle.
Question: If I leave the session, can I get back in?
If you leave and rejoin real quick, because it's in qualify.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's so
I need to
qualifying,
have-
I can still do that, but yeah.
I have to reload my NR.
Alright, you got theoretically a minute. Well, I say a minute, but a minute and a half theoretically. I'm gonna rearrange some of the stuff.
I can take this opportunity to set my camera over by the choose cone. Qualifying's our equivalent of dead air. We gotta wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm back in.
I do like the idea of doing custom advertisements, though. Just
Fuck
haven't
you,
had any-
Baltimore. If you're dumb enough to buy a car this weekend.
Yeah.
Well, why I say how much time I have is right now I have my stuff up for the ticker.
Okay.
It was saying NR wasn't started, so.
Did they forget the choose cone again? I cannot find the choose cone.
So later will be Watts.
Well, fast slapping does not work for qualify. Good to know. I was gonna try to make the fast slap thing automated, but I think we'll just. I didn't find a good spot for it for here. I'll see how it goes. Oh, wow.
Anderson is in second, and oh, I say that back as I need to go to NR to get
40 seconds left in qualifying right now. Drivers completed their first run of the laps. They got one more left to go. They get 2 laps in qualifying. Some cars like Victor Delgado III like to wait until the very last seconds before crossing the line to get that second lap in because they're a bastard.
Real.
as I don't know how to say his name is in second.
Victor Delgado the third.
Yep. On my ticker, it just says the third.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And as that timer hits 0, that's going to end qualifying. By 0.2 of a second, Kyle Watts is your pole sitter yet again here.
It's happy hour
in IFAR, this time at Homestead Miami Speedway. So they're going to go through their 5 minutes of happy hour. Normally, that's where Alex is going to go through his pre-race ramble, giving the drivers a rundown on all the rules and all that. While we do that, we're going to go over your starting lineup real quick. So, as just mentioned, the 21 of Kyle Watts on pole for tonight, the pole time of 31.686 on the front row. Is the lone dodge in the field, the 12 of Victor Delgado III. Row number 2, Jovan Anderson and Daniel Rodriguez. Row number 3, Thomas
yo.
Troxel and your points leader Joshua Clements. Nick
Duel.
Roten and Dunlap Prod will start in 7th and 8th. Rounding out the top 10 will be Stephen Gibson and Ruby Estes. Landon Lyle and Tal Aziz will bring up row number 6. Row number 7 goes to Daniel Rivera and Gino Bononi. Garson Moon and Cole Rodriguez bring up row number 8. Row number 9 goes to Blaine Davis and Nico Servideo, followed by Kirsten Bell and Caden Riffle. Jelani Howell and William Viola are the last of the cars to set a lap time. As for Friesen Rodriguez, Arthur Xavier, Trey Kinsley, and Daniel Rivera, they will be starting end of the longest line as they did not set. Oh, wait, there's 2 Riveras. Okay, ignore the second Rivera and 31st. It's just Friesen, Xavier, and Kinsley end of the longest line as they did not set a qualifying time.
And
Zach, you know you know where you get, you know how I did the like race stats and stuff,
uh,
where you go back and get the qualifying session results.
I didn't make a thing for that.
You don't have the.
Well, I have it, but like I didn't make like a UI for it.
Well, you know, we could use that.
Okay, I'll probably do something like that for the next one.
You know how? Okay, I don't know if I can say this. Go look in your Discord and I'll say it there because of YouTube.
Okay. Shoot, I could have a chat widget on my other phone. Shoot. Know that. All right. So.
I'm gonna go get you the image for it.
Probably won't do it this broadcast since I had some stuff. I'm gonna move that
Well,
fast.
Car is taking this opportunity here in happy hour to take care of those pit road stops. Homestead's a bit of a unique track when it comes to pit road entry. They have those separate lanes there in the grass on both entry and exit. Rule is that you don't have to take the 1 and 3 and 4 to enter pit road. You can just come straight off turn 2. You do have to take that access road in turns 1 and 2 in order to get and emerge back onto the track. So, yeah, so you might see some cars use that 1 in 3 and 4, maybe either under caution or limping back from an accident. But most of the field just going to break right there in 4 to make the round of the pit road. But they are going to have to use that extra access lane in the first 2 corners later tonight if we get green flag pit stops. We didn't get any last week because of the number of incidents, but I think Homestead might tend to be a bit of a cleaner race. It's a little bit faster, but a little bit more. There's not as much room to run as Auto Club, but Auto Club, with how those lanes worked, everyone just kind of
Alright, Zach, go
subjected
looking.
themselves to just the one
What
lane
I
on
sent
top.
you.
Second. We're on something right now.
Yeah. But yeah, this track, 2 lanes. You got the top lane on the very end of the top. You're going to see a lot of cars on the bottom. You got Anderson lighting out faster than Happy Hour. Right now with the 66, that's a pretty good example of that before they hit each other down the back straightaway and killed each other. But yeah, so racing tonight should be good. Hopefully a lot cleaner than 1 week ago. We're only about a minute out until we get to see green flag racing here at Homestead, Miami.
Okay. Hey, Duel, can you go to waiting room real quick? I want to test out something.
Alright, sure. 1 sec.
Buddy left your channel.
Here,
Buddy was
crocodile.
moved to your channel.
There you
Alright,
go.
sweet. I can drag people in. Alright, good deal.
W.
That's all I
Channel
wanted to test.
deleted.
Did you see what I sent you?
1 second.
Because if I said the name, it would definitely flag you.
Okay.
We can probably make that with like
I have custom number cards. We could actually like do custom number cards.
well,
If you can switch the like numbers to images, which I'm pretty sure we can do because other people have done it.
I think we can with that, but
We'll discuss that a little later.
yeah, I want to try and make that. I know we can because I have the like, you know how the qualifying results and stuff and all that I
Yeah.
have. Yeah, that can work with that. We can get that to work, but I would have to make a new PHP for it though.
Regardless,
All
I'm
right,
not going to the race.
cars are now gridding up here. They do have a reset attempt in play if they fail to complete that opening lap. They will have a second shot at it. I think we had to use it last week. I don't know if we'll need it this week or not. We'll find out about that. You see Kyle Watts there in that Busch Lights Toyota on the pole position for this race. I think this is the second pole in a row. I believe he started up front last week at Auto Club, hopefully looking for a lot better of a result this time around. Victor Delgado starting second, a very good effort for that melling operation. So we'll see how this race goes. We're 15 seconds from that pace car rolling off.
I should probably get in and off track, that way these people aren't waiting a millennia. But yeah, nice qualifying effort by the 12. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in a minute.
As they're ready to get going, we're just waiting on the pace car to move, and we're under pace.
81 laps in the books for tonight's race. Pit road speed is going to be 45 miles an hour. Going to be a long night for a lot of these guys, but with how close that championship battle is, you want to take advantage of every single lap that you have advantage of here. As we come through turn number 4, pace car is going to start pulling in this time around. Kyle Watts is on pole for this race. Here we go, making our way to the restart zone, and we are under green here at Homestead, Miami. A great start from the 12 of Victor Delgado with that push there from Daniel Rodriguez. They're going to be side by side into turn 1 to start this race.
As the number 12 got a good start there, but the pack ain't following him, so he's going to lose that draft as Kyle Watts is in the lead now.
Down the back straightaway we go for the first time here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Jovan Anderson to the inside. He wants to take away second place. That 12's got that better run on that outside lane. He's not going to be able to clear him. Still side by side for second as we cross the line to complete the opening lap. Kyle Watts, meanwhile, is all clear in front of him. Right now, you notice how that car's on that top line there. A little bit 3 wide for a second. They were sticking up to get that wall. Victor Delgado wanting to be on that bottom line. I think that's where he finds that car most comfortable, pinching that 93 down. Wasn't able to make it work on exit. Now he's going to have to fight that 10 of Thomas Troxel at the moment. But that 21 of Kyle Watts comfortably out there at the front. Jovan's going to try to fight him here with that run on the inside. But with that number of momentum, never mind. Screw the momentum. Here comes Jovan Anderson. Gets right side by side with that 21 car. Watts still leads that lap, but Anderson's not going to let him go just yet.
As I see the 21 kind of push out of the corners here,
we are under caution here. Incident at the back. Garson Muing involved, Trey Kinsley involved, Gino Bononi in it as well. Paul Rodriguez, several cars involved. That's Riffle as well. Not what Bononi needed. He had an opportunity to take home the points lead after today, and already on lap 3, he is in trouble.
Something happened with Jelani on that one.
I'm pretty sure that's our third lap, if so. Dang. Everyone was running good in the front of the pack, but the back pack, I guess.
Yeah, trouble behind is what's put us under this first caution today. Something broke in that 70 car, slammed directly into Jelani, and nowhere anyone can go. A complete track blocker Kirsten Bell in it as well, Arthur Xavier, Jelani Howell, as I've already mentioned. English Video, good job of avoiding action there. Unrelated, meanwhile, both the number 60 and the 14 are 1 lap down. Not quite sure what happens to them. Talha still in the pits, so he's undergoing some sort of issue, whether that be technical or mechanical.
Yeah, but can we talk about how it was good racing up in the front, and everyone was spaced out pretty good. And as Kyle Watts is still leader, I'm pretty sure Anderson's gonna be there. He is
Yeah.
coming close.
The 93 definitely has the speed to get around him. He's able to make that bottom line work. But getting around that number 21 is always a little easier said than done here. No matter what track you go to. Homestead, a little bit easier to work with those multiple lanes. That 21 is definitely more comfortable up there on the top if those first 3 laps were any indicator.
And they're pitting.
Meanwhile, I think pit road is up in this most recent time by. We're only 3 laps in. I don't expect to see any takers.
Everyone's pitting.
Yeah, dual.
I am not live. Ignore what I'm saying.
The entire opposite. I don't think a single car opted to stay out.
You got Kyle Watts. You got everyone. Dang.
Nobody stays out.
Early adjustments, I guess.
First to leave out the pits, they'll be leader for the restart.
Yep.
Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be the number 10.
Thomas Troxel was 2 tire.
With that strategy option, I don't even know. I think that was only a 2 tire call there by the 10 team. Watts comes out second, Jovaneris third, Joshua Clements fourth, and Dunn LaPrade fifth. It's very busy in the pits. Only 5 laps in here at Homestead, Miami. First retirement of the afternoon goes to the 60 of Nick Rowan. He is officially out of this race. He will finish in the 24th position. Talha Izzy's 23rd, minus 1 lap down due to technical issues. Everyone else still running and on the lead lap. So, I mean, that's expected. We're only 5 laps in, but things can go wrong really quickly.
Yeah, as if someone gets out of the draft as Matter, their car gets a little bit squirrely, and all it takes is a car on the outside, and just you hit them, you're gone.
So Alex just explained that they did not include a choose cone for the 2nd week in a row, so they're going to utilize the start-finish line as that choose line, and they're going to be choosing this time, I believe. So if you're Troxel, which line is going to be more preferable to you, as we're about to find out. And
Kyle's
going to
go top.
Stay committed to that bottom. If that is the top line he picked, I don't think Alex is going to. I'm not quite sure if that was a legal one, because he was on the inside when he crossed the line, but then merged back up to the top line. That might be a penalty for that 10 car. I think he was wanting to go to the top. I think he was a bit late on that. 77 is dropping to the end of the longest line. I believe that is for a pit road violation.
As I'm pretty sure the everything's steady and the pace is good to go. Is it green this time by?
Yeah. Whenever it's 1 to go, they'll always start on the choose they'll start with the choose.
Well, I have race control muted, so.
So yeah, it looks like no call there on the 10 on the choose. I thought that would have been a penalty. I guess.
Might be a post race.
I guess not.
The only thing I see in chat is Jelani's put a $35 bounty on Thomas Troxel.
Yeah, that's penalty enough, I guess.
They are in currently 4.
And they're going to be going green this time by first restart of the day. Thomas Troxel, your leader, and the control car on that outside. Jovan Anderson
as
on
they
the
get
inside.
ready.
It's a diesel motorsport, all row number 2.
They're ready, and it's going green here on the front stretch.
Good start there by Troxel, much like Delgado on the start of the race. This time, though, no help from behind. I think it's going to allow Anderson with that push from Clements to get a bit of a run into turn number 1. The Troxel is able to seal off that inside line, make it single file all the top 3. Kyle Watts in 4th with that run on the outside. Going to get side-by-side back again with his teammate in the 92. And here comes Jovan Anderson to the inside as well. Side-by-side now for the lead this time around. And I think Jovan's going to have him clear out of 4, and the 93, for the first time today, moves himself up to the lead.
New leader, Anderson, Jovan.
And that 93 has always been a contender running up there at the front every week, just hasn't really been able to hold on to that specific position. We'll see if he can turn that around today. Battle for second now between Thomas Troxel and your pole sitter Kyle Watts. Troxel with that height, with that better run on the top line, manages to pull ahead before the end of the corner. But right now, through 3 and 4 we go. Watts back on the offensive on that inside line, still side by side down the front straightaway. I think Troxel.
No,
Troxel
it's Kyle.
Troxel held the position. Watts had second across the line. Troxel, I think, got in a little bit of a better run though, allowing him to hold on to second for now.
Second.
And now Troxel gets the job done. He moves himself firmly into that second place position. Victor Delgado III started second, currently running in 5th, having to hold off the 20 of Daniel Rodriguez currently. But right now, Jovan Anderson starting to pull away. That last lap of the day was his best lap of the day, a 32.107. That might be a contender for the fastest lap today overall. Yes, it is. So no car has set a better lap.
I think Churchill's doing a mistake here, going on the top here. I think it's gonna be mostly bottom. Like
it's gonna hurt him on those entries into the corners. But you're seeing, especially earlier on the back straightaway that most recent time around, he is getting that better run down the back straightaway, closing that gap on Jovan Anderson. Right now, the gap last time was 0.32. This time it was 0.29. So he's sacrificing cars getting to that inside of him on the corner to get that better run and exit to see if he can catch that 93 car. But right Victor Delgado III up into 3rd place now.
The gap right now is a 0.288 between Churchill and Anderson.
Through turn number 4, and that's one sacrifice that Troxel makes by committing that top line. Allows cars to get to his inside there and potentially make an attack, as Delgado did off of 4. Now into turn number 1 we go, side by side for the race, for the second place position right now. That's good news for Anderson. The more that they fight, the better they'll allow him to fight back. But Troxel, using that run on that top side, gets clear of him now. I think he's not. I don't see that move of him changing. Nope, he's going to stay committed to that top line. Anderson's actually got to go to the bottom to defend potentially against that 12 car of Victor Delgado III. So it's currently a 2-car fight for second. Could become a 3-car fight for the lead potentially here.
Who's decided for 3 wide finish? I feel like that's going to happen.
We had a crazy finish last week at Auto Club with Badimlik and Gino, but we'll see how that goes tonight.
Down the back straightaway, Troxel gets clear of that 12 with that run on exit, but Vic Delgado gets right back on the offensive the second they get into turn 3, and he's going to clear him a little bit. But once they commit to that top line,
it's going to be the number 12.
Right back side by side.
It will be the number 12 who gets it.
He gets that lap, but that doesn't stop Troxel from coming right back at him yet again. Side by side again, out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. And Troxel gets clear of the 12. He might even try to make a move here on the 93 into turn number
1.
He's in the wall.
And Troxel into the wall.
Surprised he didn't lose more time there.
That's the one sacrifice that you got to make here. I guess not one. I've already explained one of them. But yeah, while the top line is faster, you have the attack on the bottom, and you also have to make sure you keep it off that wall. Makes that move on the 12 Victor Delgado. He is running really aggressive right now, trying to get to that 93 of Jovan Anderson.
His tires
Victor is not making it easy on him whatsoever.
That's gonna hurt his tires right there, as he's still almost there. I think with this corner right here, he might get second place back.
There goes.
We'll see, side by side down the front straightaway, he gets second, but can he clear that 12 fully? I don't think it's going to matter because he's going to stay up on that top line anyway.
Joven tries the bottom now.
Joven's been kind of playing both sides. Whenever Victor is the one making the runs or getting around that 10, he switches the bottom. On cases like this where Truxel gets right up to his back bumper, he sometimes takes the top. In this case, he takes that bottom. Joven's kind of playing both lines here a little bit, doing his best job to keep both of these cars behind him at bay right now.
If Churchill can get the back of the pack on the outside, he might get that draft and just roll past him number 12, but they're not with him as much. So he's kind of in the draft, kind of not.
Right now for Anderson right now, he's going to that bottom when the 10 gets close to pull that extra bit away and then block that top line out in the corner exit. If Troxel gets up there fully, I feel like Anderson's going to then switch to that top line because I don't think that 10 car is as comfortable running that inside line like the 12 is right now. That 12 has been a constant thorn in his side with those moves onto that bottom line. Quick update, meanwhile, up to P number 4 is someone that we haven't even talked about at all today so far, Ruby Estes in the 4th position.
I think, I thought I heard somewhere that they were going to quit racing here, and here they are showing up tonight in the number 17. On P4.
Yeah, and they're certainly making a good day of it, catching up to the 3rd place car of Victor Delgado III right now. And yet again, speaking of Victor Delgado III, he's back on the attack on Troxel, gets side by side with him,
Troxel
but
will
can't
still
make
have
the
it.
block to stop him from getting that run up on the top line. The only way that 12's going to get him fully clear is he's got to clear him there on the exit of 4, but then Troxel has the option to make the crossover move, and that's something I don't know if Victor can block really in this current state. We're only on lap 19. We still have over 60 laps to go. Don't want to make any mistakes too early on here. Right now, it's best to keep that car clean and competitive while it is right now, instead of fighting too early here and potentially getting it junked later on.
Another thing to note that I did not keep track of the fuel, so I don't know when these guys are going to have to pit, but I do know that they're going to have to pit at least one more time, just from basic common sense. But no idea when they're going to have to do that. Oh, dude.
Troubles right now for the 77 of Arthur Xavier. He is currently in the 23rd position, last car on the lead lap, or actually last car on track in general. Right now running a lot slower than his competitors. They're running at about 147, 150 in the corners. He's only getting that on exit right now. He was involved in that lap 3 incident, and they can tell that back end a little smushed up right now. So not right now a good day for that Pennzoil Menards Chevrolet currently. Back to the front, however, not much has changed. Jovan Anderson in 1st, Thomas Troxel 2nd, Victor Delgado in 3rd. Steven Gibson has gotten around Kyle Watts to get into the top 5. And right now, he's going to be holding up. He's going to be fighting back against Daniel Rodriguez for that 6th position.
I gotta applaud Thomas Troxel on that 2-tire strategy. I know it's short-term gain, long-term loss probably, but the tires weren't really all that old, and he hasn't really lost any track position. So honestly,
yeah,
genius move.
It's only 4 lap older tires on those left sides right now.
I'm pretty sure Kyle Watts did something wrong with how he applied his tires.
Ooh.
Because he's in 6th.
He almost got wrecked there off of 4. Or I say almost got wrecked.
Well, Watts, I think, just took a regular 4-tire stop like the rest of the grid. He's that car. He might just be playing it conservatively. He might be struggling with it. We're not quite sure. But right now, he falls to 7th over that number 20 of Rodriguez. Meanwhile, battle for 3rd now between Delgado, Estes, and Gibson. 2 Toyotas and 1 Challenger.
As Churchill is probably going to get a draft here soon, as that outside line is coming together.
Yeah, much like Troxel, Estes and Gibson have been a lot more
he's in the wall
to that top line, and more trouble for Troxel yet again. Victor has to check up to take avoiding action. That's going to be 3 wide down the back straightaway here into turn number 3. Big move by Steven Gibson potentially if he can clear that number 10 Mustang through turn number 4. 2 rows of side-by-side racing here for that 2nd position.
Churchill gets
and that outside line still getting those runs despite him pancaking that wall twice now. that 10 car has seemed not to be phased.
As the outside line has much more of a draft. I think the people from the inside is gonna probably some little
Trouble there
bit
for
contact.
Rodriguez into the wall a little bit there, keeps it going. It's less of a draft thing here, more of that momentum that you get on exit. Because the inside line pulls away on the corner entry, but on corner exits, they carry so much speed on that top line that they're able to carry such momentum down the straightaway to potentially attack into the next corner. That's why you've seen, despite Delgado consistently going that bottom line and getting side by side of that 10 car, he was not able to complete the job because Troxel's getting such good momentum on corner exit up on that top side that there's no way for him to block or defend it right now. Ruby Estes and Steven Gibson have been doing much of the same thing right now, so they've kind of created this 3-car train right up there against that outside wall that might play into the draft down the back straightaway, but in the corners, it's all momentum right now. But interestingly enough, that 93 is kind of playing in both sides. He's like running the bottom in, but then he kind of moves up to about the middle, allowing him to either block that inside or outside if needed. And Troxel again in turn number 2 into the wall. Gibson and Estes had to check up there quite a little bit to avoid. So that 10 car playing right there on the edge. Now those left sides aren't as old as those right sides, only about 4 laps. You gotta wonder, is that where it's starting to take place? Has he been pushing it too hard potentially?
As Troxel, I feel like they're gaining so much speed down these front straightaways and back straightaways. I think he's pushing a little bit too much because, as you see, when he comes in the corner, he's almost at the wall.
Oh, trouble in the back straightaway. That is Rodriguez and Watts made contact. Both of them keep it straight to avoid an accident, but there was definitely some contact there on the exit of 2. Both of them into the wall, but they keep it going. We stay green for now. Side by side, Gibson and Troxel for second place. And first green flag pit stop of the day is the 44 SCR entry of Kirsten Bell.
As Troxel is losing speed, he's losing ground here. I feel like if that car behind him goes on the inside, Troxel's gonna lose all of his speed. He's gonna be forced down.
You say that right now, but he's right now working that outside line. Might even have a shot at Anderson here a little bit. He was getting quite a bit of a run on the back straightaway. But they're right there on the back bumper of the 93. 0.18 was the gap that time around. And update on the 44. They are out of the race due to a wheel issue. I think they were just leaving for the day based off the chat, but yeah. So, Kirsten Bell out of the race. That leads us down to just 22 cars left here in Homestead, Miami.
Is Troxel gonna go on the inside?
Yeah, I think Ruby Estes was able to make a move. Oh, last minute block there by Troxel.
This is getting too serious here.
Where trust comes in with racing these guys.
Kyle Watts is moving up.
Where did he come from?
I think he was saving his stuff up. I think Joven was trying that same thing. He's running that bottom line. I think that bottom line is better for trying to save your stuff. Meanwhile, battle for the lead.
As Kyle Watts goes for the move, will he get 4th? Maybe
that's going to be battle for 3rd of Troxel. Meanwhile, Steven Gibson
Kyle Watts
to the inside of Joven Anderson. They are side by side for the lead. Anderson's going to lead that lap, but Gibson is still on the offensive. And there's Kyle Watts as well. Is he going to make it 3 wide for the lead? Yes, he is. 3 wide in turn number 2. Gibson has to back out of it. Now it's Watts versus Anderson now for the lead. Anderson on the top, Watts on the bottom. Troxel now side by side with Gibson, meanwhile, for 3rd.
Kyle Watts
now
gets
Anderson's been
more
forced
momentum.
up to that top line.
And Kyle Watts will be, again, your leader here at Homestead.
He was just 5th place 2 laps ago.
But here comes Anderson now with the crossover, now down to the inside here in turn number 1, trying to get that lead right back at him. Toyota versus Toyota here for the race lead. But Watts with that momentum on the outside is going to get away with it and clear that number 93. In race update real quick, retirement number 3 on the day. That was the 77 we mentioned earlier of Arthur Xavier with those issues. They've put it behind the wall. We are now down to just 21 cars.
I'm pretty sure because Bell's 3 laps down. I don't know if about him.
Bell was the 44 who retired about 5 laps ago.
Yes. It says he's 4 laps and it's Xavier's 5.
Yeah, it's just the game. Game being goofy.
As Kyle Watts has a good gap here between Anderson, a 4:09 gap.
I knew what he was doing there,
He's
lagging
He
back.
was pulling away.
He was saving his
holding
stuff.
on to that stuff to get this last bit of momentum here, and it's working wonders for that number 21 right now. Gibson now right back to fighting that number 93, and he's going to get clear out of turn number 2. So Jovan Anderson, leading the good majority of the first half of this race, has now fallen down into 3rd position currently. Speaking of falling down positions, Victor Delgado is fallen all the way down into...
I'm pretty sure we have 46 laps to go.
This lap.
Oh! Kyle almost spun it out of 4 there.
Yeah, you did a good job of saving it, but now you're going to see the damage that's going to cause. Gibson and Anderson are right back there now. That momentum that he had, that half of a second lap advantage he had, is now gone. That might be down to just 2 or 3 tenths by the end of this lap. But that 21 is still going strong. I don't think that's phased him whatsoever, actually.
Yep.
I
Going
think
back to the bottom.
he got a little bit too much air under the car there.
There's something going on with the 12. He is starting to fade. He is now down, ironically enough, in the 12th position, but he's going as low as 129 in the corners right now, as cars are saying 140 easy. So problems for that 12. They started second, spent a good chunk of the first half of this race up there near the front, but now that Dodge is starting to run into some form, and he's going to be coming into the pit road this time. Is this a scheduled stop, or could this be a problem for that Delphine?
I think tire wear.
Gibson
someone had a
is gonna
slide
go.
there in...
Gibson's on the
front straightaway.
inside. Will he get it? As Kyle Watts is on the outside. It's gonna be... It was almost there.
I think it was Vargas that had that issue on the front straight, if I had to guess, because he's also
pit
pitting the sun.
road is getting more busy. Garson Moo Young and the number 66 have come into the pit road. We're going to have some more coming in this time around as the leader comes off turn number 4. Thomas Troxel and Dunlaprade has made their way into the pit roads. They got to slow that thing down to 45 miles an hour. Daniel Rivera making their first green flag stop of the day as well. So green flag pit stops are now under full swing here as we're nearing halfway through this race. Now, with them pitting back around lap 4 and them hitting here just short, we're about 3 laps from halfway, are they going to have enough to make it to the end of this race?
Kyle has the speed, but other people has been saving. We don't know who's going to get it.
Hayden Riffle into the pit lane, that number 97. Jelani Howell coming in. Cole Rodriguez, Nico Servideo. So, pit road definitely busy right now. Good stop for Troxel. He stays ahead of the car that he has to compete with, of Laprade. Now, Victor was the first car to pit. That might take that into advantage here with short pitting the lead lap cars here. We'll see if that could work off. And your leaders are coming in. 2nd place of Gibson, 4th place of Estes, 6th place of Rodriguez.
Kyle
They're making their green flag pit stops. But the race leader, Kyle Watts, him, Anderson, and Viola still have yet to make their pit stops. As again, the 21 makes contact with the wall. I think he's going to be coming in this time.
I feel like his tires are mostly given out.
21 entering this time.
21
right now,
often
currently on pit road for some of our leaders right now. Stephen Gibson. It's going to be a standard procedure of a 4-tire stop for the 51 car, and he's dead away right about at the same time as Ruby Estes is. Now Watts and Anderson are in
the lead.
One good thing for William Viola is that he has the very first pit box there on pit road entrance, so he does not have to wait long to get to his box whatsoever, while a lot of these guys have to make that long march down the pit road, especially in Watts' case. He's right there at the pit road exit. And I think for all of them, it's just going to be 4 tires and
92.
fuel.
Oh, Lyle's gonna pit. It means, I don't know how to say his last name.
That's going to be Joshua Clements, your new leader. Watts beats Anderson and Viola out of the pit road. That's a big battle for them. But
Half
here's Thomas
of the
Troxel
field.
through turns 1 and 2.
Half-
He's going to end up ahead of all 3 of them, potentially. He's going to end up ahead of Anderson. And yes, he is. Troxel is going to pass the leader of Kyle Watts for that position, although he is marking him. Actually, that might change the second they come back around the line. They're currently marking him a lap down. That
and
might
Clements
change.
is in the pits.
No. And I think that's gonna complete the cycle of all of them coming around after the fact. As Troxel now in P4. Good stop by that 10 team is doing a great job today on pit road. That first pit stop under caution got them up that track position they need up to the front. Now this green flag stop has put them ahead of some of the quicker cars today of Jovan Anderson, Kyle Watts, Steven Gibson. He is now ahead of all of them. And I think once this pit cycle evens itself out, he is going to be your new race leader. Landon Lyle out of the pits. On to turn number 3 he goes. He's going to fall in line right behind Jelani Howell in the 19.
As
And now where
Troxel.
is that 92 is the question as they come through. He's just now leaving pit road, so Thomas Troxel in the number 10 is your leader. Dunn LaPrade second, Steven Gibson third, Victor Delgado the third in fourth, and Kyle Watts in fifth. That is where we're at after pit road. And during the middle of the green flag pit cycle, we have hit halfway, so one half down, another half to go. And it is Thomas Troxel, your leader here at Homestead.
We got 37 laps to go.
And I think a lot of these guys one-stopped this, so I don't think they're going to have to pit again. I don't think.
There's a few that I'm concerned about with, like, Victor Delgado III. If you got him short pitting like that, great for his track position. He fell all the way down to 12 before pitting. He's now back up in 4th. But his tires are going to be a lot more worn than a lot of cars around him by the end of this run if we're green all the way. Cautions, of course, could change everything. You might, I think if we, especially the longer this run goes, the more and more cars are going to pit when we get a caution.
Yeah.
But right now, that top line is the popular line to be. All of the top 4 right up against that outside wall through 1 and 2. The only car that didn't was Kyle Watts in 5th.
Churchill in the wall.
Much the same in 3 and 4.
Churchill got a little bit in the wall there, but he still keeps his momentum for first. As right now, there's going to be kind of a battle out between Leprod and Gibson.
One thing I have noticed about Thomas Troxel today is he's been a lot more clean with his aggression this race. Now, granted, he has hit the wall a whole lot, but he is getting the limits out of that car, I think. And it's paid off so far. We'll see if this can keep him up front at the end.
As Leprod gets a little bit of a run there, Leprod, he can go on the inside and try to do the crossover move, but he might lose all of his momentum.
Yeah, right now it is nose to tail for that top 3 of Troxel, Leprod, and Gibson. I don't think any of them right now are willing to make that jump into that inside line for position. They might just be sitting here, either saving fuel, tires, whatever, working this to the end of the race. Because while Troxel might lead the most laps under this method, only one lap really matters in terms of this race, and that's that very last one. So they might be comfortable in this formation here for a little while. You got Delgado, one of the few cars that's entering that corner. He's running the top line on exit, but he's entering that corner a little bit lower at the corner entry. He's slowly catching up to this top 3 train. Depending on how long this run goes, there might be lap traffic in effect. Leaders are currently in the middle of 3 and 4, as the first car is right now running last car of Tala Aziz in 21st, is currently in turn number 2 as they cross the start-finish line. So, how long this run go, we might have some lap traffic involved.
Yeah, as Troxel is, I'm pretty sure the whole field's single file by now. But if Leprod gets a bigger run on Trutzel, it can go too wide and then single back out. But as Trutzel keeps running, he's blocking a lot here.
Yeah, I think right now they're all just content here to stay single file like this for now. Clock those laps down, save your stuff for the end. Some guys that are pushing like William Viola, they might have a harder time at it. There was trouble for Kyle Watson a lap ago, as Viola absolutely blew by him. He's still struggling to get back up to speed. Not quite sure
As
what happened
we
there.
have 30 laps to go.
I'm watching that 21 car. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm watching him like a hawk.
And we might be trying to repeat what he did last screen, right before the green flag cycle last time. Gibson
29.
was inching for that inside into turn 1. He thinks better of and backs off. One thing I want to note, currently in 9th place, Jovan Anderson, they were running up there at the front beforehand, and now they're right now fighting to stay in that top 10 spot.
LeProd
Not a
loses
great
momentum.
green flag cycle for that 93 team. Right now they're paying the price for it, as they're going to probably lose 9th here to that 20 car. And right now it is a 6-car train now for the lead.
As right now it will be 28 laps to go, as everyone is just happy, I'm pretty sure, where they're running. As people in the back, probably not.
You have a few guys that might be trying to push. I definitely think that 27 is going to want to make some moves here pretty soon, along with maybe that 17 and 12. Everyone, that top 3, meanwhile, they are content staying in that position they're in right now and saving their tires for the end. If this goes green, like it has the majority of the day, you want to have that stuff when you need to here towards the end. We've only had 1 caution on the day, and that was on lap number 3. It's been completely green flag since then, and as we come out of turn number 2 right now, still completely single file. Victor was playing around that bottom line a little bit, but he drops off from the 51 now, so they might just now have to stay committed to running that very top line for quite a while.
Right now, I'm pretty sure that, what's your predictions on last lap?
Honestly, they'll try to start getting racy around the last 10 laps,
sure
maybe
the
as late
74
as
is
5
going
ago.
to try to get the lead here.
He's gonna go for it, but that momentum on the top line is just too much to make a move of. And you see, without that momentum that you get that run on
51's
that high
going to try to
side
go
with,
for a second.
you just can't really do nothing about it. That allowed Gibson to just blow right by him. But however, you see with that now 51 forces the bottom, that allows 74 to run to the top and now get that same momentum to trap him on that inside line. That's why a lot of these guys are staying committed to that high side. Much like last week at Auto Club, that momentum you get on corner exit is so good that you could just practically just stay there like that. If you try to make that move on the inside without anyone behind you, or any help at all for that matter, there's not really much you can do unless you clear them on exit. If you can't clear them on exit, you're not gonna be able to complete the move. And if it's a train like this, you could be stuck behind them for quite a while. LeProd was lucky enough to be able to get enough of a run to get on the outside of that 51, trapping him on that inside line, and that allowed LeProd to stay in 2nd place.
It is
turn number 1.
24 laps to go as
You don't have to say that like every 2 laps.
Last time I said it's 5 laps.
Moving on. Anyway, so LeProd now, yet again, going to that inside. He wants to try and get this move done. Might be too early. Never mind. He's coming in.
Ooh, 2-stopper for that 74.
Either he saw that he couldn't make it on fuel, or there's definitely something behind this. Either he knows he's not enough to make it, or they're going to be hoping for a caution here. I'm not quite sure what the call here is for that 74 team. We'll have to see how that runs up.
That definitely makes this interesting. Makes you wonder if everyone else is going to have to pit.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty interesting as LeProd just went. I'm pretty sure his fill is getting low. And 2 more cars pit.
Yeah, so maybe it might be a pit. It might be a fuel thing. That's probably what it is. Viola's made the move in now. So is there going to be enough fuel to make it to the end for a lot of these guys? And oh no, trouble for Dun LeProd. Pit road speed violation. They're going to have to come back in.
And that that changes everything for Dunn.
This late in the race, unless there's a bunch of cautions, there's nothing you can do about that. That's pretty much race ending for that 74 car and their chances of taking home the checkered flag tonight. They looked like they had the pace to do it, but gotta be careful on pit road. A mistake like that, especially this late in the race, that could end it pretty much just like that. As we're nearing the final 20 laps of this race. If there's not any cautions to help him here, I don't even think he'll get back on the lead lap by the end of it.
Well, it's just 2 cars here in the lead.
12 car
Gibson,
pitting. Ooh. I don't think the 12 car maybe. Oh, and Victor Delgado spins it in pit road.
No, again, pit road mistakes. Another one we see there. Interestingly enough, the 74 has still not come down. I said that he got the penalty because while he was in the access road there on 1 and 2, he put in again that he was having to come down to his pit warning message after he had already exited pit road. But he has still not come down, so maybe he just accidentally fat-fingered it.
Could have been
Maybe he
that.
doesn't have a pit penalty after all.
Oh, Gino in the wall.
Oh. Yeah, so might have to scratch that on the LeProd penalty, and he might have just hit the wrong button. So we're gonna move on and wait and see for now. Top 2 of Troxel and Gibson still have yet to come in. Pitting right now is a lot more sporadic than what we saw on the last cycle about 30 laps ago. So not quite sure what the call is here. Although right there, Gibson right on the back bumper of Troxel out of turn at number 4. As Riffle and Rodriguez is in, Rivera coming into the pits.
I'm pretty sure that number 70 is going to be the first lap car of tonight.
It's the middle of green flag pit stops. I probably want to wait on that just to be safe. But you could be right. That back end of the 70 is completely torn up. They definitely don't have the speed like a lot of cars, like a lot of the field does today. So you might be right on that one. Battle for third between Rubiestis and Kyle Watts side by side. Out of turn number 4 they go, and Ruby's going to get that momentum on the high side to get clear of the 21, but Watts is going to keep that fight going on and back to that inside line. Although Ruby makes a mistake there, and one has a little bit of a wobble, and that is going to allow Watts to get the move. He's up into third, and actually Joven now is going to try and make the move on the 17 for 4th.
I think I hear some clutching in some of these corners, so I think a lot of these guys gonna bring this thing to the end. They're gonna try to anyway.
And Jelani have exited the pit road as the pit's completely quiet on pit road right now. I think the field is kind of split in half. Some guys are like we just saw, they fueled up to make it to the end, while some guys right now they're gonna try and extend this fuel run here. Try and have those better tires here on these last few laps. I think that's what you're seeing out of Gibson and Troxel. I'm not quite sure what the fuel window is right now, but assuming that they went all the way to empty on that last one, they might be trying to see if they can save to the end. They've been tandem up like this for quite a few laps.
I'm still thinking Kyle Watts. I'm still looking at him.
He's currently lurking back there in the 3rd place. He is one of the cars that have not made a pit stop here recently either. TalhaDevYT is now coming in. I feel like I've already seen him in the pits at least 5 or 6 times today alone.
This league is his Achilles heel, and I think he just sped.
Yeah, it's not been a good day for that 14 team. They had trouble even before the first caution. Trapped them a lap down. They got back on the lead lap, but then ran into even more problems, and it's not been the day that he's been wanting, not been the season that he's been wanting. But he's going to come here into the pits, get 4 tires and some fresh Sunoco, and he's going to be on his way. Leaders are entering turn number 3. Still a tandem between Troxel and Gibson. They've trapped the 66 1 lap down. LeProd right now 1 lap down from pit cycle. And then you have 2.5 seconds back the 21 of Kyle Watts.
We got a battle for the lead here. It looks like Steven might clear the 10 car off of the exit.
And he is too. I wonder if Troxel made another mistake tapping that wall. And unlike checking up like the previous times, Gibson just went for it.
A lot of
So
time
lead
lost for the 10.
change, the 51 out front. And, oh, well, the 66 is doing a little bit of a chastain right now.
Take a look at what he
And
did.
because he has those fresh tires, it does not matter. You can see right in here the battle right now between the 74 and the 10. They're not on the same lap. The 74 is trying to take the lead lap away. The 74 just pitted about 10 laps ago, and you can see that tire difference as he blows by the 10 and 51, and that's going to put him back on the lead lap. He sits in the 10th position currently. So you can see how those tires, new versus old, are playing there in live time. Question is, when are they going to come into pit road, or if they are? And while we don't know yet for Gibson, Viola, Watts, or Anderson, we do know for Troxel and Rubiestis, they are making their way down pit road.
Yep.
Troxel's definitely been one of the quickest cars on the day. Although what's interesting to me in this is when they're coming into the pit road, they have pretty much on both the previous stops, they have been the best car on pit road. They pulled that 2-tire stop early on to give them the track position they need to run up front, and then on the second pit cycle, they managed to take the lead away after falling outside the top 5.
Watts
So
is
we
in
know
second.
that 10 car. We know that 10 car is really good here on the pit road today, so he's going to come out. We'll have to see where he will stack up after this.
As I'm watching the front, as Kyle Watts is gonna make the move for first. He made the move for second, and he is getting a run.
He got around Jovan Anderson for that second place position. It is still
And
Gibson, your leader, and here comes Gibson into the pits.
As Kyle Watts... Go.
Now you can go ahead.
Alright, as Kyle Watts is the leader once again, as, I don't know who else is on the lead lap catching to Kyle, but...
It is currently 7 cars have yet to make pit stop, first of which is Watts. He is 1 second ahead of Jovan Anderson, but now we are within 10 laps to go. I don't expect them to be coming in, and, nope, he's still going. Alright. I thought he was slowing down to pit first for a second, but nope, he's right back on the gas. So, yeah. First car of the lead pack that has made a stop is Anderson in P8. The whole 7 ahead of him have not made a stop. That is Kyle Watts, Jovan Anderson, Joshua Clements, Gino Bononi, Landon Lyle, Trey Kinsley. Stephen Gibson, who just came out of pit road, has now overtaken Leprod for that 7th position. So the numbers have now fallen down to 6th of the top 10 cars have not made stops.
That 21 car entering the corners, he is clutching. I think he is 100% to the end of this thing.
He's trying to save it to the end, and you see those cars up on the top there blowing by him. One of them right there, you see Stephen Gibson in 11th place, right there on the top line of 2. He's about to overtake Watts to get himself back on the lead lap. That's that speed difference. Gibson just pitted a few laps ago. Watts is trying to save to the end, and it's just no contest. That 51 blows right by him. That 21 is doing everything he can to save enough fuel in that car to make it to the end. A few guys like Jovan Anderson, Joshua Clements right now are doing that same thing because those points could be huge. So the first car that I know of that has made a pit stop, to my knowledge, on this most recent cycle is the 74 of Dunleprod. He is currently entering turn number 3, while Watts is actually right behind him. He's now in the back straightaway, now entering 3 this time. So he's got about a whole track advantage. So as long as he doesn't run out of fuel, he has enough of a gap, at least for the cars that have pitted. His biggest concern right now is A, holding on to the very end, and B, holding off against Anderson and Clements, who are about 1 second behind, fighting for second, also on that same strategy as he is.
I'm pretty sure 15 just got his lap back.
Big wobble there by Anderson out of 2, and yes, he did. Rivera running in the 12th position, back on the lead lap. Here comes Troxel in 13th. That will put him on the lead lap as well. So the question is, does Watts have enough? That is what we're going to be looking at here. But keep an eye there on that black and gray 92 Lowe's Toyota. And is now dropped down to just 1 second. So that gap is falling more and more. Clements is not saving as much as Watts is right now. It's going to be between the two Diesel Motorsports teammates for this win. And you gotta wonder, how much can Watts do to defend? We know how much he's having to check up right now to save it compared to his teammate right now, as the laps are counting down to just 4 more laps to go. And Clements is there, down to just not 0.9 of a second.
Oh, Estes.
Estes is trying to unlap herself there, but Clements either did not see her coming or said, "Get out of my way! I got a guy to catch." Top 3 are all within 2 seconds of each other. Fourth on back are 10 or more seconds behind your race leader, Kyle Watts. I think most of them have pitted. I'm not sure about some guys like Lyle, Benoni, and Kinsley. So we'll have to see where they line up here. Through turn number 2, as Ruby is going to go by, get back on the lead lap here.
Kinsey finally goes to the pits. My bad.
So right now, how much of these two is saving the most? I think Watts is spending a much harder time saving, but do they have enough? Out of turn number 4, it's going to be 2 more laps to go. This time, what can Clements do to close that gap on that number 21? They are teammates, but in this last lap, it's not going to be teammates anymore. That gap has gone from 0.9 down to 0.4. That has been cut in half in just 1 lap now. Out of turn number 2, Watts with a bit of a slide. He has to avoid contact with the wall. And here comes Clements with a run down the back straightaway. I don't think he's going to be able to make a move in this corner just yet. I think he's going to have to wait till turn number 1. But he is there. Out of turn number 4 we go. It's going to be 1 more lap. Can Clements get the job done? And more importantly, do they have enough fuel? Into turn number 1 they go. Both of them on the clutch right now. Watts defending that bottom. Clements running up there on the top side. Out of turn number 2 now. Clements barely keeps it out of the wall. That's going to help that 21 Watts. Clements had to let off to take avoiding action. Into turn number 3 now for the final time. Does Clements have anything? I don't think so. Watts has that bottom line cut off.
Out of 4.
Out of turn number 4 they go. Clements has no response.
It'll be
Kyle Watts, your winner here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Oh man.
And Jobin's out of gas off a 4 for P3. Lyle might steal it here. He does. Lyle steals a P3. Gino Benoni around off a 4. Garson trying to push him to finish the race in the top 10. More cars trying to take those spots away.
As it'll be Watts, Clement, Lyle, Anderson. I'm not even gonna say fifth.
I think Watts might be out of fuel here. I think he ran out right as he crossed the line, so he barely had enough.
The 92 is gonna have to push him here to victory lane.
What a finish!
He had the bare minimum amount of fuel needed to get to
no, I
the
think
end.
he has a little bit left to do some burnouts.
We'll have to see.
I think he was saving some to do burnouts.
Yep.
That was all he had, I think.
Nope, he's out.
Oh well.
I think Clements gave him a bit of an extra push there, but talk about a fuel saving job, huh?
But Lyndon Lyle with his first podium in IFAR.
As let's hopefully get all of them here.
We'll have to give them the time. They're currently.
I do want to see what happened to Gino real quick before I go pulling in people from the waiting room. Because he was in prime position to get a podium, or not a podium, but a top 5, and I think he got robbed and finished P10. Yeah, he was 5th for, oh, he ran out on the apron off a 4, and Garson wasn't ready for it, and Garson felt bad pushing him to the line. I don't know if it's going to be I don't know what to make of that, but I gotta respect Garson for pushing him across the line nonetheless. Team owner.
Alright.
So here are your official results. Kyle Watts running out right as he comes across the line is your winner. His teammate Clements comes home in second. Landon Lyle in P number 3, Jovan Anderson. P number 4, Dunlop Pride rounds out your top 5. Caden Riffle comes home P number 6, Steven Gibson P7, Daniel Rodriguez P8, Thomas Troxel, what could have been, has to settle for P9. Gino Bononi will round out your top 10. William Viola P11, Daniel Rivera P5, P12, Ruby Estes P13, last of the lead lap finishers. From here on, everyone is 1 or more laps down. Nico Servideo P14, Trey Kinsley P15, Tala Aziz rebounds to a solid P16 at the end of the day. P17 for Friesen Rodriguez, P18 for Victor Delgado III. P19 goes to Garson Muyung, with Jelani Howell rounding out your top 20. Cole Rodriguez is the last of the finishing cars in 21st. And Kirsten Bell, Arthur Xavier, and Nick Roten unfortunately could not make it to the end.
DNF'd.
Oh, we got a person getting
As
interviewed.
Troxel had 26 laps of him leading. So,
Arguably most of the day. We'll have to look at the final results on that.
well, I have them up on my stuff.
Oh, shoot. Well, let's go ahead and bring in Kyle Watson, get him some interviewing going.
Buddy was moved to your channel.
What a
Oh, boy.
saving job there, man. Wow. Take us through it, man.
Well, I heard some people talking about fuel saving the first run, but I was like, there's no way we're going to be able to save. Well, I think for me, it would have been like 41 laps or 40 laps I'd have to save. So I thought, no way. So I was just saving my tires, and then I was pushing as hard as I could the last part of the first run. And when I pit, I saw that I was right on the money for if I were to save to make it. So I pretty much just stayed on the edge of the draft the whole time, saving. And then, dude, I saw Josh coming, and I literally ran out right at the line, dude. That was crazy.
Wow. I mean, you quite literally executed that perfectly. I've seen you running that bottom line. I know, I don't think a lot of guys know this, but at least from my experience and what I've seen some other guys doing is running that bottom line, you save tires a bit better. But I don't know if that was like the main goal there. But
yeah, it's crazy. I was burning more tire saving fuel. So that was interesting. But I was also running the bottom for fuel saving. So.
My question is, how did the car feel at the end of the line?
It was a handful. I'm pretty sure it felt better the second run than at the end of the first run. The first run I was just wrecking loose. The second run I was still loose, but like it wasn't that bad. So.
Julie, got any questions?
I think you all asked the ones that I would have thought of, I'll be honest.
Kyle, you got any last thoughts before we let you go?
Good race to Josh, dude. That was really fun. You know, we're both friends. It's always fun to race him. So.
Dan's up in waiting room.
Give him a second. But yeah, congrats on the win. Imagine we'll
Thank
see you
you.
tomorrow at DSRA.
Oh yeah.
Well, good luck to you there, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Please don't let him win, I swear to God.
Buddy left
Someone
your
stop
channel.
him.
Alright, let's get Dan up in here.
Alright, let's get D-Dog in here.
User was moved to your channel.
Mr.
Alright.
D-Dog, how we doing? Hello? D-Dog?
Wake the fuck
Yo.
up this morning.
You alive? Alright,
Yo,
yeah.
what's up?
How was the race? Alright, how take us through it, man.
Bro, in the beginning it went pretty good, but then once we started getting to fuel saving, I'm like, oh my god, I might have just screwed myself. But then at the end, once Dunn did that whole strategy where he started pitting, everybody just started pitting, and then I'm like, okay, I'll just pit because everyone just started pitting. I was just following the herd, and then everything just worked out in my favor. So.
You know, it's a bit of an up and down day for you in and out of the top 10, but you end up settling today with a P8 finish. You think there's anything that you would have done differently today, or are you happy with the result?
Oh, absolutely. I probably should have just pitted a lap or two later. I think that's probably the easiest thing I could say right there, because that probably would have helped me with like fuel saving, and then I don't know. I tried fuel saving. I mean, I was I was down 5 laps on fuel, and I'm like, fuck, there's no way, but I'm gonna try anyway, and I just could not save. I could not clutch, and then trying to clutch, you burning a lot, like your tires more, apparently. So I was cooked, and then after that, I pitted, and then as the race went on, started getting a little more spots, and at the last lap, I don't know what happened, Viola. I don't know if he started slowing down, and then there was like 2 wrecks in the final corner, and then I got like 3 spots, and I got P8, so I'm lucky for that.
My question is, how did the car feel?
It felt great. The first like half felt really great. I shouldn't say that. The whole race it felt really great, but then the whole strategy thing just I felt back. But then like I don't know, just the first part of the race just felt really good. I feel like these like last 2 weeks have been really good for me. So I'd say in general, today was really fun.
Okay.
We'll see you next week for IFAR at. Let me find out which race that is. At Martinsville. Oh dear God.
Oh
Oh no.
no.
Oh no 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 no! Please please
Oh,
no. Wait.
God.
Right, man.
Have fun.
Yeah, I'll try to have fun.
May God
More
have
fun.
mercy on your soul. I'm not gonna be here next week. That's for y'all to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Well, me and Zach will be in the booth if so.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Be in
Congrats
booth
on
for
the.
DSRA. So
I'll make. Wait, what is DSRA this weekend? Like what? I mean,
Watkins Glen.
I'll
oh
try
God,
to race, but
yep, I'm not racing that.
I'll try to race. But...
Someone stop Kyle.
Oh,
Watson,
wait.
Thank you.
Am I suspended? Am I
I
suspended?
think this is your last suspension of the. That I think you're finally free.
You know,
I
I'm
wrote
gonna
this
just
last week.
disregard what you just said, and I'll just join anyway. I'll just race anyhow. No.
We'll play the lottery again.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, congrats on the top 10 and
I think
I'm happy, even happier that I didn't get 11th. I think before I started getting more spots, this is probably gonna be the 3rd race this season that I would have been 11th.
Okay.
So I was so
I
tired.
decided to check. Yeah, it is your 3rd and final suspension of this week.
Damn it.
oh well.
But don't worry, we'll see you back next week. Oh God, it's Talladega.
Yes, dude. All right. I'm actually happy about that. All right.
So next week you get your pick between Martinsville and Talladega. Pick your poison.
God.
I think he's gonna take Talladega Nights.
I already did Talladega OSCC. I know it's gonna be much different, but my God, people were just hitting the apron like I don't know. They were just hitting the apron so much in that race.
You know,
Early
I
today.
know he's not here to defend himself, so this is
Are you
actually
in
the
socks?
perfect time to ask this. Can Carl finally win a race next week?
Absolutely not.
Like, are you kidding me? How many starts has he had? Like, holy shit, bro.
I think he's ellipsed 100.
Iowa was his 99th start.
Oh no. Well, I mean,
If he
I
misses
should
next
be one
week,
talking because in
if
IFAR,
he misses tomorrow, Talladega will be his 100th race.
I mean, in IFAR, I've had like how many, like 100 plus without a win, so I shouldn't be talking. So I need to humble myself.
Dan, are
You've
you
won
in
in other
socks?
leagues too, though.
I am not in socks.
Okay, I think we need to give him an invite to that.
Regardless, congrats on the top 10. We won't keep you any longer, and good luck next week at Martinsville.
Yeah, God save
Have
soul,
fun,
man.
dude.
User disconnected from
All
your
right.
channel.
I
bring
love
in-
Prod.
Let's bring in Dun LaPred.
User was moved to your
I
channel.
love Prod.
Hello.
You were welcome to the booth. You were one of the first cars there on that second and final green flag pit cycle to take the gamble there on the on coming in. You did rebound to a top 5. Do you think if you stayed out and saved like the other cars, you could have pulled out with the win today, or did you just know you not have enough at the end?
No, I know it did not have enough. I ended up speeding down on pit road during that first caution. I was trying to battle the 12 getting out of pit road, and I did not, check my odometer and ended up getting black flag for it. So I had to work my way back up, and I did not never paid attention to the fuel at that point. So I mean, I was trying to make up all the track positions that I had lost, and we were able to get up to second there, but after the first round of green flag pit stops, but even then, I was 5 laps short. So I wasn't, even if I was clutching. I mean, I did clutch a little bit to see what would it do, but I would have had to clutch an absurd amount, which I mean, I was not going to take the chance. So I had to gamble, and it was a very risky one. And but that was the only choice I had. I was risking going a lap down and having my race be completely over for me, and it was either that or just run out of fuel. And yeah, I mean, I hated that I put myself in that spot early on, but I was able to get back up there, and I was hoping that others would try to pit, if not run out of fuel, which I mean I know it happened to the William, I think the 27 cars, so that helped me out for sure. I know that I don't know if he miscalculated his fuel mileage or what, but I was able to get a 5th place finish out of it, which considering where I was, I'll take that.
My question is, how did your car feel?
I mean, it didn't really feel good in the traffic. I mean, if it was out in front, I think it probably would have been okay, but I had a pretty so qualifying effort. We didn't qualify what I would have liked. I mean, then again, when you go to a track like Homestead that's wide or whatnot, I mean, you got so many, places, so much room to pass and whatnot. So it wasn't really, and it was a long race as well. So I wasn't worried about trying to, get it up to the front. I was just trying to focus on my own race. But yeah, I felt with a lot more tightness, in the dirty air with everyone. I thought that I had a good car in practice, and then when we put it in qualifying, and it just kind of, wasn't where I wanted to be. Which I mean, then again, it doesn't translate into the race. But unfortunately, I didn't have the greatest race in the world by any stretch of the imagination, but I had to make the most out of what I was given.
Alrighty, it's only your second race since the mid-season swap over to SCR, and you've already come home with your first top 5. How is that process moving to a new team mid-season?
It's a breeze, really. I mean, I was doing this deal, doing all my own and not be part of the team, and I didn't really think a whole lot about joining teams. I mean, if someone offered me, I would accept it, but I wasn't worried about it, whether if I was given an offer to drive for a team or not. And then Aya, with what was all going on, she gave me this opportunity, the offer to come over to SCR, which I want to give a big shout out to Aya for the opportunity. I know it's been a roller coaster a couple of days with everything that's going on, but hopefully I made you proud tonight, Aria, and hopefully I can deliver as time goes on, and hopefully I can get my first win of the season. And I know it's been a while since I've won in this league, and I've been close. I was pretty close last week, and hopefully I can put SCR back on the map. But I mean, you got so many talented drivers in this league that it's going to be a monumental challenge to even get a top 5 even. So it's definitely not easy. But I got a good feeling how the rest of the season is going. I don't know where we are in the championship standings. I'm pretty sure we're not that far behind, as far as Josh and Kyle in the point. I think they might have passed me in points because they finished ahead of me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next couple of races, and hopefully I can continue to have races like this. Obviously, not me, speeding and having to do all of that unnecessary work for myself, but just one race at a time.
Alrighty.
We'll see you next week for IFAR at Martinsville. So thank you for your time.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Actually,
User
since he
left
mentioned,
channel.
since he mentions it, the
User
points
was moved to
have
your
been
channel.
Oh, my bad,
Nope.
son. I didn't mean to move you.
Good. Good.
I thought you my bad. Here,
Okay. Okay.
my bad. You can go back now.
User left your channel.
Zach, are you done live?
Not yet, no.
Since Dunn mentioned, I'll real quickly. The points have been updated. Joshua Clements is still your points leader with 181 points. Watts, with his win today, is 3 behind his teammate in the 92. Dunlaprod in third, 7 points behind. And then Gino Bononi P4, 13 behind. And Garza Moon rounds at the top times at the top 5, 32 behind Clements. So Clements does still hold on to the points lead currently, but Watts, especially after that win today, is right behind him.
Well,
Alrighty.
I think I'll do it. Again, CCRS and Gnarl, they're in the off season. I actually don't have a.
They're actually having a trial for the beginners and stuff. March 28th, I'm pretty sure. Or no, March 21st. March 28th is when the season begins.
I ain't gonna be streaming the tryout thing though.
The tryout is gonna be at Rockingham, so I will need to put my stuff in gear.
Yep. Lock in.
Because I think Zach remembers what happened at Atlanta.
Yeah, you gotta lock in, not gonna lie. I'm joking. But yeah, anyway, those leagues are in their off season right now, so we're not gonna be broadcasting those for the time being. IFAR, that's still to be determined. I don't know if I'm gonna be broadcasting tomorrow or not. We'll figure that out.
If George is able to run a server, you might be able to make it work.
Also, you got me here too. I can also host.
Respectfully, I barely know you.
Yeah, we'll figure that out when we get to it. If George wants to
we
host,
we can worry about that tomorrow.
If George wants to host, I can stream. Then it doesn't matter which TeamSpeak we use. I can still host TeamSpeak, I think. But if George wants to host his, whatever. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone involved. Thanks to Duel and Matthew for joining the booth. And thanks to Alex Gonzalez-Greene for hosting the league. And congrats to Kyle Watts on the win. And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.